I've helped e-commerce founders scale to over 100K a month and also saving them up to 40 hours a week. And it all comes down to implementing the exact same system that I've used with my ecom store to generate over £1.5 million in revenue. And I've removed myself from my store so completely that it can run now with less than 4 hours a week of my input. Now, most people think when they think about scaling an ecom business that it's going to be more ads or more email marketing or another marketing agency. It's none of those things. So in this video today, I'm going to explain exactly what it is in less than 10 minutes. You can go away from this video implementing it straight into your business and seeing the results for yourself. So what is the real reason? What is the real difference? Well, it's not that I give these ecom founders a daily massage either, in case that's what you're thinking. It's actually the infrastructure that I implement into their business that makes all of the difference. When they've got a solid systems and operations, then they can scale from that position. So what does that mean? What does that mean for you? Well, let me just reference it straight away by talking about what it looks like before I start working with founders. And this is the same as my position a few years ago. And this is what I find e-commerce founders' days look like when they haven't set up their infrastructure properly. And you might be familiar with these things. So perhaps you're looking at phone call recordings or taking the calls yourself. Then you're looking at emails, keeping up to date with the live chat, how that's been going, maybe making revisions on your Shopify store or uploading new products. And what that all leads to is you looking a little bit like this, head in your hands, completely burnt out, thinking, how can I get time to scale this business when every day I'm just thinking about the day-to-day operations, making sure it doesn't collapse. And because you're in that mindset, you then have poor reviews coming through. Or you start to realize that the customer experience is slipping because it's all on you. And you, as the founder, are really just becoming the bottleneck for that business's growth. So let's move on to the after state of these people that I've been working with and also my business. How are we able to achieve these incredible results? Well, it looks like this 7-stage process here. This is the solution to that. And first thing is SOPs. And this is all about systems, but I don't want you to switch off because this is crucial and it's something that you can implement into your business. And it means that the whole thing works like a machine. And don't just get caught into the old mindset of thinking, well, I have to run new ads or I have to upload a new product range. It's about how the whole system works. And by documenting the way that the business runs, you create SOPs, you put checklists in place, and then you start to understand how the whole business runs. And also you identify the bottlenecks, the inefficiencies, and it's also something that you can give to somebody else, which takes us on to step 2. You can now hire virtual assistants. So I hire people from the Philippines for my business and the clients that I'm working with because they can take on SOPs and deliver fantastic customer service and admin support once they know exactly how to operate the business in the way you want them to. And that was the point of the SOPs first. Get VAs on board. Then step 3 is about having a solid onboarding checklist when they come in, so they know exactly what they're doing and they can get straight to work. And instead of them working as an assistant for you, they're actually working as an operator, an owner of a certain part of your business. And that makes all the difference when it comes to the quality of work that they'll put out. Step 4 is where we integrate AI into your business to automate it. So, for example, in my business, I have a voice agent, which is an AI bot that takes phone calls after hours when VAs aren't working. I also have a live chat that's a chat bot initially, and you can also have voice chat on your website as well as AI WhatsApp messages for customers that land on the site. And AI should be used as a sprinkling of automation alongside a solid system that's put up in place beforehand. There'll soon be a point where AI can take over everything, but for now the way that I do it is with a hybrid model between virtual assistants and AI. And that's been the most fundamental way to look at it, to get complete automation of your business without needing the founder to become the bottleneck. Step 5 is about making sure that orders are fulfilled, customers are given great service without you needing to worry about it not being repeatable or it being a big task for you. And then phone calls we can automate with voice agents or VAs taking on board all of that. And we can get customers spoken to very quickly, and that all leads to better service, 5-star reviews, customers coming back, and scaling. Now, let me show you the proof that gives me this confidence that I know that is the strategy to systemize your business. I've worked recently with a client called Adam. Now, he has scaled his business to do over 100K a month, as you can see from the screenshot here. This is us working together. And the way we did it is because I hired a team for him, put SOPs in place for them to handle, made sure everything was systemized to give quality service to your customers straight away, so Adam can focus on scaling the business rather than being in the day-to-day weeds of running that business. He's now able to travel, and he's traveling and working from Italy, and that's because he's no longer the bottleneck. I actually did a full-length podcast with Adam, which is on the YouTube channel if you want to hear it from Adam's own words himself. Also, Jared, I've done a podcast with him, and on that podcast, he talked about how he freed up 65% of his time while scaling past £5.25 million in revenue for his business, and he's no longer needed or required to work, and he's got complete cover 7 days a week. And these are some nice messages that he told me, how his VA's been looking after the store while he's been away in Mallorca. So this all comes from my previous situation. It wasn't always like this. I've not been able to just magic this solution out of nowhere, this founder focus framework, as I call it. It came from a position of pain from me initially, because I used to be completely burnt out. I was running every part of my e-commerce business. Phone calls, order fulfillment, supplier contacting, you name it in the business, it was all down to me. And then I mapped out how I got myself out of that situation, and that was through documenting, systemizing, and automating my business, which is what I now call the founder focus framework, which is those 7 steps that we've talked about. And that's how I'm able to implement it into my business to scale to over £1.5 million. And I'm just focusing on the high level actions, and I'm able to travel the world. I'm in places like this in Cape Town, but it wasn't always like that. I'm telling you because I had to go through my own process. Now, another client that I'm working with at the moment, he's recently scaled past 160k in his business, but the first thing that we needed to do for him was to systemize everything. So this might resonate with you, and this comes back to the first point of the 7-point process. But you need to have SOPs, and you need to have a documented way that your business runs. Otherwise, you can never hire anyone in to quickly take over those tasks. Now, when we put the SOPs in place, we could hire a VA within the first week of working together, and straight away they were taking strain off Steve. So think about phone calls, or think about returns that you need to handle, or difficult issues that customers are experiencing with your products. If you don't have an SOP for how to deal with that, you can't give it to anyone else and expect them to be able to do it without you. And then when inevitable things happen, like you have to be away from the business, you can have confidence that somebody is doing it in the right way because they're following a system that you've laid out. Similar thing I've been through with John. Now, the key for John was all about freeing himself from the business so he could continue to focus on the most important things in the business rather than just doing the day-to-day. So he's recently scaled past 250k in sales, and he's had like 4 orders in a morning, and we've had a VA on board to handle that situation so he can continue to focus on scaling. Similar sentiments have come from other people that I've worked with recently. So you can see here, Sally and Axe, their comments, Diana, Neil, Ashley, Nicola, any of you might be watching this video now. If you are, shout out to you. Also Martin, Oliver, people that I've been working with recently, and I've taken some excerpts from things that people have said about me online, because ultimately it comes down to people working with people. And when you have the right people on board, you can fix your operations, scale faster, and therefore make more money by working on the business less as the founder. So you actually free yourself as a bottleneck and scale while being able to travel or fulfill your goals in whichever area of life that you want to. So this is my TED Talk to say that operations comes way more important than acquisition and ads and email and new marketing channels. Once you've got some acquisition nailed, you can then think about getting the infrastructure in place so you can scale to your goals without being tied down to the weeds working day to day. So with that said, hope you can see that from a different perspective now, how it's made a difference for me and the e-commerce founders that I've been working with recently. And if you want me to talk to you about how this would be work in your business, then simply book in a call with the link beneath this video. And I look forward to chatting with you and explaining how this would work for your business as well. So with that said, thank you for watching the video today, and I'll catch you in the next one.